Hi everyone, I am back and today we are building with the new pack Growing Together, which I'm sure everyone is very excited about. It's finally here, it's been a long time coming, obviously with the baby update or infant update I should say. It's just very exciting and I was just really excited to be honest to get a new world, and I knew that from obviously watching some of the clips and things online that it was going to be kind of based on San Francisco. Like I feel like that's what it's meant to be. Obviously it's not like literally San Francisco, but that's the vibe that I was getting. So I knew that when the pack came out I really wanted to build this sort of like townhouse style home, sort of Victorian, with the garage underneath, which I see a lot in pictures or films or just things I associate perhaps with San Francisco. Obviously normally on like quite a steep hill, and they're normally, well, from what I've seen, maybe not terraced, but they're normally like very close to other houses similar, so like a long street of them. And when I first went on the map, I was kind of hoping that there would be an area with this kind of style homes, but there wasn't really. I'm in the sort of I think it's called like Anchorpoint Wharf, um, which is the most like, I don't know, like lively area. So the rest are kind of more. Well, do you know what? I've not actually clicked on any of the lots in those areas. I can just see from the map that they look like obviously a bit more uh, rural, a bit more suburban, out of city. Whereas this is obviously the city centre, let's say, or downtown, where there's obviously stuff going on. There's like just a cinema across the way, which is really cute that they can go and like watch a film, and obviously you can see like the docks behind, and obviously the big bridge behind, which I thought was a really cool location to put this house. But yeah, like so, yeah, the lots just, or the sort of houses around weren't quite what I was expecting, but there are some to the left of this lot here, which are that sort of, they've got the garage underneath, and then the house is like starts on the second floor. So that's why I use this lot, because I felt like it's the best place for it, because like I say, there's some literally to the left, but they're a slightly different style. They're not really Victorian, but I thought that's as close as I'm going to get. I did contemplate maybe doing like actually making like a little terrace run, also making like a couple of houses on this lot, just so that this one didn't stand out on its own. But then when I started building, I just thought that's just gonna take a long time, and I'd rather put all my effort into one house and like less effort into two, if that makes sense. So yeah, I decided to do one. It turned out pretty big, much bigger house than I thought I was gonna make. I think it's 4 bedrooms. You could make it 5 if you wanted to, because I made one of them an office. And then I think there's like 6 bathrooms, which is a ridiculous amount of bathrooms. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know why I did that. You just kind of want one on each floor, and then a couple of en suites happened, a Jack and Jill happened, and then suddenly I've got 6 bathrooms. So I won't lie, I only left one in the build for you to watch, because I just thought like, watching 6 bathrooms is gonna get really boring. So yeah, you just see one, but there is 6. And I'll kind of point out where they are if I remember as we're going through. So yeah, it's a much bigger house than I thought I'd make, and pretty expensive. It's quite sort of fancy. I mean, not too fancy, but I tried to keep it kind of traditional, trying to use maybe some of the older, what would have been there, like old tiles, that sort of thing. But also, it's a family home, so it's got a few modern quirks to it, which I always think is nice, having a bit of a sort of like contrast in a house, a bit of the old with the new. I think that's the way to go. So yeah, like I said, I was thinking about making it like a little terrace run, just so that it sort of like fitted into its surroundings a bit, so it's not just this sudden like like house that looks like it should be adjoined to another one. But in the end, what I did is I just paved, as you can see, like either side of the house to make it blend in a bit better. And I do just put some like trees, sort of like planters, just so it fit in to the scenery. But like I say, I would have liked it to have been like next to loads of them. And I was thinking that would be so cool, because I mean, you can't really do that on The Sims, make terrace houses, which I don't know, for me, like where I live, every house is a terrace house, basically. I live in a terraced house, so like that's just the norm. And I know obviously like The Sims is a very American based game, and there's perhaps less of that over there, so I can appreciate why that isn't really like a thing that you can do. But wouldn't it be cool if there were lots like where either side of the lot is like a terraced row, and then you can like build one in between? I think that would be really, really cool. I mean, and you could choose to do something completely different with it, because it could be like, you know, like a contrast house in between this row of houses. But anyway, maybe one day we'll have that. But I just think that'd be such a cool idea. So for now, we just have to make our own terrace houses, or just make one and just kind of use your imagination and pretend that there's more alongside it. I've done it a few times. I have made terrace rows. I've made a few of them, but I just thought, let's just make one big chunky house today. And you'll see, like, for example, where we're looking now, the like left side of the house, I haven't put any windows, because in my mind I was like, well, if this was attached to another house, there'd always be one side of the house, well, there could be both sides. If it's a terrace house, both sides of the house wouldn't have windows. If it was like a semi-detached, then one side definitely wouldn't and one side would. So I thought, I just kept with that style, that there probably wouldn't be any windows on this side of the house. So it might look a little bit weird from the outside, but that's where I was going with it. But yeah, so we're finally on the interiors now. I've just literally waffled the whole way through the exterior. I hope you liked it. I used the new front door, as you can see now, which I think is stunning, and the same with the like smaller one, so just the door without the like windows either side. I know I'm going to use that in like all of my builds. And to be honest, a lot of the items like really, really nice. I used basically predominantly the new pack, and I just used new pack and base game for this build because I wanted it to be as accessible as possible for everyone. So yeah, so it is just base game and the new pack. And yeah, and just there's, like I said, really, really good items in this pack, really versatile. You know, like if you change the swatches, you could use it in lots of different styles, ways, and just a good range. And wallpapers, you can see in the hallway I've used the new like tile wallpaper, which is stunning. Really, really love that. And I know it might seem a bit weird to put tile in the hallway, but my thinking was, if it is from the sort of like Victorian era, that maybe they're like the original tiles, you know, and they've just been spruced up a little bit, because I'm really, really obsessed with those tiles. I use them a lot actually in this build, so I hope you like them because they are everywhere. But yeah, so this is the main sort of sitting room, and I thought it'd be really cute to have a little reading nook off to the side, which is what I'm doing now. And I put these new book shelves in, which are really nice, how they just sort of like clip together, and you could make like a whole wall of it. And we haven't really got that yet, and I think like that's a good addition. I just don't really like the round one that much, the round end. I don't know, it's like very modern, but I guess it just adds a bit of something a little bit different to the build. But yeah. So I've literally built this as soon as I downloaded it. So I haven't really played with the pack, haven't looked too much at the world. Obviously I play tested this after I built it. So that's when I had a family and I got them to go and watch a film and stuff while I was taking photos. So they were preoccupied. But so that's how I know there's a nice little cinema across the way. But in terms of other things, I really haven't played. I mean, from the items I can see, obviously there's some really, really cute things for the infants. Really excited to see how they work. And obviously then gameplay, I haven't really had a chance to do any gameplay. But to be honest, it feels a little bit weird to sit down and try gameplay with a pack, which is obviously, I mean, for me, from that, like everything I've seen, is quite centralized around this new infant update. So, and it feels weird to have a child of my own or baby of my own and spend time with like a simulated one. But I know that they have added in the addition of like singing lullabies to sleep, which I think is really, really cute. And I can really relate to that, because I'm actually recording this quite late at night, because I have spent quite a long time this evening singing my baby lullabies in a dark room, making me very, very sleepy. So if I sound tired, that's why. Because yeah, it sends me to sleep. Might not send them to sleep, but it sends me to sleep. That's for sure. So yeah, I just think that's really, really cute. Quite realistic. But yeah, so I'm really, really tired, but I knew, well, I just really, really wanted to finish this build tonight. Well, finish the video tonight, so do my voiceover, because this week we're not actually going to have any Wi-Fi, which is unfortunate. So I really wanted to get this finished so that I could upload it, and then obviously I can build without Wi-Fi, so I'm hoping to still build this week and then get the next video out as soon as we have Wi-Fi again, basically. And hopefully that will be the end of the week. So fingers crossed it won't be too long, but yeah, that's not fun when you're trying to upload videos. But there we are. At least I can still build and then just upload it as soon as we get internet. So it should be fine. So yeah, I rushed through that kitchen. We're upstairs now, but the kitchen I did a really spacious one. And you'll see there was like a family nook off the side, which I think is a really cute addition. So you can be cooking while your kids are like playing, you can see what they're doing. Because I decided that this family probably has a child and an infant and then also a baby. So all quite young. And you'll see once I start doing the bedrooms, like which room is which for which age. So yeah, I thought having a family nook in the kitchen was a really, really cute addition. Just makes it a bit more realistic, the kids can be playing while you're cooking, and yeah, I really like that. So yeah, here's the first bedroom, which I think should be for a child. Obviously they can be for whoever you want, you can change them however you want, but in my mind this was for a child. Yeah, using that new bunk bed, which I think is really cute, and this rug, which I actually genuinely, we have this rug in my house, like it's amazing, like we literally have a rug just like this, so I was like, gotta use it, super cute. But yeah, so I've put in these things. I'm not gonna lie, some of the items, not necessarily in this room, because some of this is obviously Doll's House's base game, the craft table, but there's a few items which I wasn't actually sure which age use. So when we get onto the nursery, yeah, I put like some toys on the floor, which maybe isn't actually for an infant, but I figured even if an infant can't use them, they'll grow into them, right? They're going to become a toddler at some point, so yeah, they'll just use them then. Because at first I did think about having a toddler, but then I saw the cribs and I just thought I've got to use a crib because they're super cute. And yeah, just like all the nursery furniture, so the changing table, which again I assume the infants can use, because I imagine in my head babies are like newborn now, infant is like a 1-year-old and a toddler is like a 2-3-year-old in my mind. And yeah, you'd definitely still be using a changing mat for a 1-year-old, so I figured it should be fine. But either way, like you'd need all those things like in a nursery, so I just thought it'd be cute. And those bookshelves remind me so much of, because everyone uses these bookshelves from IKEA, which are actually like spice racks, and that's literally what they are. They've like made them in The Sims, which I think is so cute because they are so popular. The only thing is you can't like move it up and down the wall. I really liked if they were a bit lower on the wall, because I don't know, I like the idea of like a child or an infant crawling and like taking out a book themselves. I know obviously they wouldn't in gameplay. I imagine they can't do that in gameplay, but in my mind it would be nice to imagine, and being able to have like a few up the wall I think would be really, really cute. But yeah, still love it. So yeah, this is the only bathroom I show you. This is like the main bathroom, the big family bathroom. I thought this was the best one to leave in. You would have probably seen maybe just like off to the side of the camera, off the side of the screen, sorry, when I was doing the child's bedroom and the infant's bedroom, that there was like a Jack and Jill bathroom. So there's a Jack and Jill bathroom between them. So I thought it was really cute use of that space. But then there's a big main family bathroom next door anyway. So, and there's so many bathrooms in this house, like they could all have their own bathroom. But yeah, you can change them if you want to make rooms bigger. I just thought it made sense to have obviously our main bathroom, and then obviously there's going to be some en-suites. So So yeah, moving into the main bedroom now, and as you can see from the wallpaper, like I said earlier, I did try to keep some traditional elements to the house whilst keeping it a bit modern. So obviously I'm keeping the panelling, but then obviously using some nice modern wallpaper, and making like a really nice built-in wardrobe here, just to keep some of the elements of the house I feel like, like would have been there originally, but then also like making it nice and modern. I feel like this would be quite a young family, but obviously a family which, have a lot of money because it's a big house, like I say, and it's really nicely done. So I guess like professionals, because I do make an office next door for one of the parents, I assume, perhaps they're a lawyer, I don't know, obviously quite wealthy. And this is also where I put the baby, so in my mind the newborn's crib, or cot, because I feel like they'd still be sleeping in the same room as mum and dad or parents. So yeah, I put that at the end of the bed because I feel like, if baby's waking up in the night, you want to be close to them to be able to like comfort them back to sleep. So that's where the baby sleeps. And of course, if your baby soon grows up, you can move the bedrooms around. So obviously they have their own bedroom. And like I say, there is actually another bedroom, because there is a fourth bedroom I make. That's actually in the basement, and it's set up at the moment as a guest bedroom. I do actually take that out of the recording. I don't show it, just because I felt like it got quite repetitive because we made so many bedrooms, and it's just very standard, obviously, because it's for a guest. So there's no like personalisation or anything, and it also has an ensuite. Believe it or not, that is bathroom number 5, I believe, and then the last bathroom is the one also in the basement, which is just like a toilet, like a cloakroom for if you're just in the basement and you want to go to the toilet. But yeah, so just working on the office now, putting a few things. Really cute picture frame there with like a handprint in, which I also put in the nursery, which is a really cute idea. Obviously it's like, like baby's first handprints. I like that. I really, really like that. I thought put that in the office so that when they're working away, they can look up and remember like who they're doing it for. But yeah, so now we're down in the basement, and this is just basically a garage, obviously. Put in the good old debug car because we still don't have real cars, but I guess a debug car will do for now. Yeah, so just, it's pretty standard. Some units, some old chairs. I do also put a bike in here because they have added in children's bikes. Again, love that, long overdue. We've had the adult bikes for ages now, I feel like. But it's nice now that the children can learn to ride their bike. And I know that there's like the gameplay of like, like they're learning. They don't just ride off ready, they can do it. They like learn and they can ask their parents to help them. So that's really, really sweet. So yeah. And then, so there is a guest room, like I say, and an ensuite to it. And there's another bathroom, as you can just see, kind of beside the camera. And then the rest of the basement is like a big playroom. I thought would be really nice, obviously, with the pack, very family orientated. Obviously, lots of kids living in this house, to have a massive playroom where they can just run wild downstairs. If the parents want some quiet time upstairs, they can be running around down here watching the telly. So yeah. And I did play test this, like I said, but the only thing actually, now thinking about it, I didn't play test was that slide. So I'm really, really hoping that works. It should. Don't see why I wouldn't. I just, I totally forgot to play test that actually. But I think it'll be absolutely fine. Because, it looks like it'll work just fine. But yeah, loving these rugs as well. Really nice swatches on these rugs, really good colourways. And I made it bigger there, obviously. I sized it up. And I don't think it looks too bad sized up. Sometimes they can look a bit questionable, but I think it looks okay. So I'm really glad about that, because I know I'm going to use them in basically every child's room for the foreseeable future. And also those shelves, the shelves I've just put up now, super cute. And also the ones that are like little luggage, like little suitcases, really, really sweet. But again, I think they're huge when you put them on the wall, like normal size, massive. So I've sized them down, which I still think they're pretty big, but I've sized them down, so just makes them a bit smaller. But we're finally into the garden, really small little courtyard. Would have been nicer if this was bigger, but I made the house so big that I ran out of space on the loft. So it's just very small, got swings, beautiful new swings, because I would have really loved to have done, because I know there's a new tree house, would have loved to put a tree house, but maybe in one of the bigger lots, if I make a bigger family home, a more like, bigger grounds to it, bigger garden, then yeah, we could use that. But yeah, so just finished up the garden and then that'll be it. So I will leave you now with some pictures and see you in the next one. Bye.